Welcome to another episode of Getting Sidetracked when I'm supposed to be working. I am down in Manchester doing some surveys and yeah, a bit of an emergency stop when I passed this. I'm not sure how old this graveyard actually is. Down there is all very modern, but let's go and see what we can see, because that bit up there looks a good bitty older. But first, over there, can you see what I can see? I spy a Commonwealth war grave, so let's go over and say hello. This is definitely going to get a bit soggy. It's raining quite heavily and this place has got long grass for sort of wildlife and stuff, or because they can't be bothered cutting it. But either way, it's I'm going to get very wet feet. Let's go and see who this is. It is somebody from the Air Force, I think, looking at the... Yep, it is ACW Second Class J. Relf, or the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. Ah, now there's something we've never seen before. Sunshine passes, shadows fall, but a beautiful memory outlives them all, it says down there, I think. So this is, a lady from the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, died in 1942, Second World War, aged 18. It certainly elevated the interestingness of this place. Down here it is all, I think, fairly modern. I have just spied another Commonwealth War grave over beside the entrance, and one up there, so we'll go and see them on our way up to the church, working on a theory that the oldest part of the graveyard will be up there beside the church. It has actually just occurred to me I've got no idea where I am, so I suppose I'll have to find out what the church is called. I'm guessing there'll be a sign. I came in through that little gate there, which is like the back entrance. There must be a main gate up there somewhere, one would surmise. So this is the second of the war graves. This is another Air Force person, Sergeant Hurst, a navigator and wireless operator, again Second World War. And the third one is just up there, so let's go and see who that is. I'm trying to stick to the paths to keep my feet a bit dry, so there's a war grave over there. I've just noticed there's one right out there in the middle, so I might get really soggy feet. I might just have to give up and go paddling. And this is, again, Second World War, 1946, January 1946, and this is Lance Bombardier, I think BDR is Bombardier, T. Stones of the Royal Artillery. Right, so let's go and look at the one that is definitely going to give me wet feet. Okay, I'm heading along this little path and going to go and get wet feet walking over there. This part of the graveyard is 1920s, 1930s. There's somebody's alarm over there going off, which is really doing my head in. Anyway, this is Joseph Price, 1925. And that's quite cool, isn't it? It's got a, if you like that, if you're interested in the details, that's like armoured, like an armoured sort of thing. I don't know, that's interesting. Until we meet again. Oh joy, and the rain is getting heavier and heavier. I suppose it does mean at least these places are quite quiet. So let's go down and see who we have got down here, and then go and look at a really cool statue in the background that you've already spotted. This is, again, Second World War, Corporal Hampson of the 110th Regiment RAC, Royal Artillery Corps. Yep, Royal Artillery Corps, I think. The Border Regiment, and he died in 1942. Yeah, it says there, lately the Border Regiment, aged 24. Right, and let's go over here, because these look like they might be old, well, a little bit older, not much. This is 1909, that is Jane, beloved wife of James Jackson, and Chris Johnson, their son, who died in 1918. And then there's this, which is what we're actually coming across to look at. That is... Again, it is a funeral sort of tombstone that is also a work of art in its own right. So it is all, it's all 1900s down here. This one I thought looked quite old, but it's in loving memory of Betty, the dear wife of John Finnell of Little Hulton. Little Hulton is pretty much where we are. Who entered the homeland, there's a phrase we've not heard before, February 1912, age 71. Her end was peace. Right, so this is all 1900s. I wonder if we're going to get any further back. Let's head up the hill towards the church and see what we can see. Operation Keep My Feet, or indeed anything else dry, has failed spectacularly. Well, that's quite an interesting stone there. Let's take a shortcut up here past these guys. Excuse us guys, we are squeezing through to go and look at also William, the son of Samuel and Emily Tilsley, who died in 1901. We're almost back into the 1800s. Let's see. In memory, there we go. In memory of John Tilsley, who died September 20th, 1875, aged 45. And he's not here, he's at Tilsley Church. And Ellen, his wife, and Thomas, I'm guessing their son, probably. So that's the 1800s. And next to them we are Joseph Charlton of Little Hulton, who died in 1892. And yeah, let's keep going along this way. Beside the path, they're starting to get some stones lying down here. I guess here at the top resteth the body of William Roscoe, who died January the 2nd, there you go, 1890 something, so yeah, in the 1800s. Right, let's follow this little path because I can see stuff up here that looks quite interesting. Let's go for a wee look, and there's the church, the name of which I still do not know, but I promise you I will find out. We're almost at the front of the church, and these stones are quite grand and on average a bit older. That is Robert Sumner of Little Hulton. Strangely today, if you are from Little Hulton, it's probably not something that you'd announce. It's not the nicest part of Manchester. I say that about a lot of Manchester, but a lot of it is not great. Father, in thy gracious keeping, leave we now thy servants sleeping, and that's from 1905. And then there is this, which is another Roscoe. Roscoe must be a family name around here. Oh yeah, this is somebody who was quite important. Memory of James Roscoe of Old Peel Hall, Little Hulton. Old Peel Hall, no idea. I don't think it exists anymore. That's quite an imposing mark to leave on the world, isn't it? I like that one. And there's another one very similar up here, so let's keep going up the hill. I keep saying going up the hill and then getting sidetracked. We are going up the hill because over there I can see the old bit. I think we're moving back in time now. This is John Entwistle, again of Little Hulton, who died in 1881, aged 33. And behind John it's Nanny, the beloved wife of William Matkinson, or William Atkinson, you idiot. Little Hulton, who died in 1882. Lots of stones set into the ground here, so let's see if there's anything that is like really old. What do you reckon? You reckon we can get back into the 17s? Let's. Well, we can't here because that's 1878 for in memory of John Smith of Little Hulton and his wife, who died in 1894. This is really cool. Look at this. We've not seen many surviving tabletop tombstones in England that are still on their little tables. So let's see if we can see any sort of date. 1894, and that is Robert Tunstall, their son, and Robert was the son of James Dunster of Peel Hall. Alright, Peel Hall Farm, there we go, so he was a farmer. That's got to be one of the biggest tabletop tombstones we've still seen, and it is still on its tabletop legs. Here resteth, R-E-S, but it looks like an F, the body of James Hampson of Little Hulton, who departed this life February 10th, 1845, aged 47, so still in the 1800s. What about up here? This is 1842 for old Thomas Grundy of Little Hulton. It always says of Little Hulton because you're in Little Hulton. I think we've probably figured out by now where they're all from. They must have been very proud of the area. It's nice to see. Bit of civic pride, something it could do with these days. Yeah, they're all very, very big stones. This one is for a guy called Thomas Hilton, again of Little Hulton. And this is what we're walking over towards now because that's quite intricate and ornate. Lots and lots of work going on this. And hello to the angel on the top has unfortunately lost her head. Any idea of a date? Oh yeah, Sarah somebody. Sarah, what does that say? Let's not say Sarah somebody. That's very impolite. Sarah Rawlinson, born April 1811, died March 29th. 1863. These are, yeah, this is older and older, but still not 1700s. Let's keep going and see what we can find. Old Thomas Tunstall is back in 1820s, 1821. That looked like quite an old stone from a distance, but it's 1820s. You never thought we'd be at the stage we were saying 1820s. Nah, that's quite modern. We want to find something a wee bit older. What about his next door neighbours here? This is Here resteth John Owen of Little Hulton, who departed this life November 1869. Boo, getting newer. We're up under this tree now, but hopefully it's a bit more sheltered because it is starting to rain quite heavily, to use language that I can use on YouTube. In memory of George Kavanagh, who departed this life, is that June the 11th? 1908. That looks old and is comparatively newer. Are these all 1900s on this? 1859 there for whoever that is. And and Cavanagh was 1859. So yeah, we're still in the 1800s. This is, it's getting wetter and wetter. I may well be getting close to binning this and making this episode a wee bit shorter. I'm guessing that the Roscoes were the big name round here. This is in memory of James Moore of Little Hulton, who departed this life October the 20th, 1851. And also Catherine Roscoe, his beloved daughter of James and Anne Moore, who departed this life in 1859. Right, that's quite far gone to read. Oh no, it's James Bennett, and can we see a date without standing on it? Not at the top, but at the bottom there's a 1927, so yeah. Oh, there's the light just caught it there nicely, if you can see that. It says 1810. And this one is a bit sad, well, they're all a bit sad in a way, but Sarah Jane, the daughter of James and Sarah Hannah Heathcote, who died November 1874, aged 3 years and 7 months, and Thomas Lever, their son, who died 1870, aged 1 year and 2 months, and Adam there, oh look, there's a mason's mistake, S, that's been, can we see what used to be under there? I don't think we can. Adam there, I think that might have said who. It's S-N, oh no, S-N-O. They've got it the wrong way round. Definitely S-N-O. Died 1885, aged 3 weeks. So that's the main entrance to the churchyard over there, so I'll shortly be able to tell you what church this is, and this is the War Memorial. The memorial was erected by the parishioners and friends of this parish. The glory of God and the memory of the men of Little Hulton, who gave their lives in the Great War, 1914 and 1919. They died that we might live. And then quite a lot of names. That's Lancashire Regiment, Lancashire Fusiliers, King's Own Royal Lancashire, etc. Oh, and there's people from the Border Regiment, which is quite a way away, the Liverpool Regiment. It's I love these things because you always look at it and you see the sort of variety of names and places and things on it. I do like a war memorial. There's somebody who was in the Royal Scots, J. Smith Royal Scots. I wonder how he ended up with them. So that is where we are, the parish church of St. Paul Peel. I am the resurrection, missing a few bits, and the life. So that's, yeah, what a nice churchyard, what a nice church, what a nice place. This is William Baxter of Pendleton, which is not far away, who died in 1886. So yeah, I think we're not going to find anything back into the 1700s. These are all 1800s or later. I'm guessing the church was one of the ones that expanded during the sort of Industrial Revolution, the late 1800s, when more people in Manchester were working and living and ultimately, obviously, dying. So yeah, this is going to be from 1800 up to today. I think it's all still in use. That's quite a large sort of and very intact tabletop tombstone. I'm guessing it's been restored because it's got slate over there that probably used to cover the bottom, and then this concrete which is now all fractured. But let's see if we can see anything about this one. This is sacred to the memory of William Ormson, and can we see a date? Oh yeah, there it is there, 1888, aged 58. Right, so let's keep going down this way, and this may be a shorter than planned episode. Quite an interesting churchyard, but I'm getting very wet. Set into the path there are some big slabs. Let's see if this is going to get us any older. This is sacred to the memory of, can't really see it, and something because it's all underwater. Is there a date anywhere? Can anybody see a date? Oh yeah, 1815 there, so okay, it's still 1800s. Yeah, I think we've got a date for this place. I think it is the 1800s. That one's trying to confuse me. That is James Weston, and who died in MDCCC XLIV, which I think is MDCCC is 18, XL is 40 and 4, so 1844. I will check that, but you can, or in fact you can go and check that. How are my Roman numerals doing now? I'm getting better, definitely. I'm going to start at the top of this one and then show you something that just had my brain going This is in memory of George Whittle, schoolmaster, so an occupation. The first one we've seen here was an occupation actually, who came to Little Hulton Old School in AD 1805, I think, yeah, so schoolmaster. But down the bottom it says, and I had to figure this out because it wasn't immediately obvious, it says Thomas Toss Whittle 2, and then I couldn't see, it says Breadths. So Thomas Whittle must be 2 things away, or owns the ground for 2 things on either side. No idea. That is an educated guess based on what we've seen elsewhere. Oh wow, that's quite a large. You're not getting in. That can't be a burial vault or anything, can it? That's got to be just a foundation for an old building or something, possibly. It doesn't look very burial vaulty, but there is the slabs I'm standing on do appear to have quite a large large gap going down somewhere. Actually, and again, if I just use my eyes instead of my mouth, that's like a base for something the same as that, and on that they've got a cross and a big sort of stone thing, and it says T-L-E-T Fletcher. So this must be a family vault, I guess. And again, it's got a slightly disconcerting pair of slabs with a gap underneath. Let's go up Mr. Fletcher's slabs. Thought that looked like 2 old, really old tombstones there. It's not, it's 2 legs off a tabletop. So let's look at the tabletop and get a rough age. Memory of Hannah, it says up there, who departed this life. We're in the 1700s, 1791. Thank you very much, Hannah. That has got us back into the 1700s. Does that mean that these ones here are going to be equally old? Here resteth the body of John Hodson, who died January 27th, 1845. Boo! No, sorry, I don't mean boo. I'm sure you're not 17 anything. Let's have a look at this one here. Here lies the body of Esther, late wife of Massey Ellison. I thought that was Massey Ellison of Chorley Chapman, who died in October and buried 21st, that must be an S, 21st 1764. Wow, so yeah. This one, and also Wilde, who died Y-E. Look at what's going on here. There, figure that one out. Y with a tiny little E, 12th. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't a month that starts with Y-E. What's it say at this end? Oh, 12. That'll be the. I can't see that, and it's also very wet and soggy. But 1776. Anyway, let's just edit that bit to make it make sense. The one next to it is also the body of his blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, 1777. So yeah, we've made it into the 1700s under this little rather convenient little sheltering tree. Right, this is the last big one in this part of the cemetery, and this is sacred to the memory of John Weston, son of James and Elizabeth Weston, whose remains are interred in a vault on the north side of this church, who died the something of August 1864. It's a pretty place, and by that I mean it's pretty wet. Okay, absolutely drenched. I should really have put some proper shoes and a coat on, but I didn't because I'm not that well organised. I do really like the fact that some of these random stop-offs that I do when I'm exploring are as interesting as some of the planned ones where we say, oh, we're going to go here and look at this. You just do a random stop and you find, oh wow, look at that. Sorry, sidetracked again. We did a video from Barton Cemetery where there was a tombstone that had a glass front on it. I think that's the same thing. I think that's like some sort of glass or ceramic, but that is absolutely incredible. Let's have a wee look. In memory of Richard Farnworth, who died March the 16th, 1891, aged 56, and Alice's wife, who died in 1898, aged 60. But look at that, that is absolutely gorgeous. That is going to last forever. Well, actually, it's going to last until the glass eventually breaks, from what we've seen of these before. That's the detail, and that was worth the stop. That is so cool. It is getting a little bit of a lean on. It'd be a real shame if that one was to topple over. Anyway, let's keep going here. There's some more over there that are going to be mid to late 1800s, and I'm not walking through the grass to find out, so you can use your imagination. Let's go around the side of the church and see what we can see. Right, this is take 2 because this stone has got too much going on for me to get out right the first time. So this is Emily, the daughter of Elijah and Alice Heathcote of Little Halton, who died 1893, age 5, and Arnold, her son, who died aged 11, and then that little rhyme that we've seen dotted about, thy purpose, Lord, we cannot see, but all is well that's done by thee. And then there's Alice herself, and it says, beloved wife of Elijah Heathcote of Morovelo, who died April 20th, 1902, aged 44, and was interred in the English cemetery in Morovelo, Minas Gerais, Brazil. So I wonder what that story was there. And the above Elijah Heathcote, who died suddenly at the Canadian viewers. Where's that? Wetaskiwin, Canada, August 1914, aged 55. He was government inspector of coal mines for over 8 years, and then there's our daughter down the bottom there who squeezed on, and she died at Calgary in Canada in 1922. My phone's just about stopped working because it's getting extremely wet and the touchscreen is no longer touchscreening, but I just like that name. That is Farnworth Wormby of Little Halton, who died in 1914, and various members of the family down to Nathan and Cyril Wardle, their grandchildren, who both died in infancy. Right, I'm not sure what we're going to find up here. We're going along the wall of the church, and there's lots of tombstones quite close together, and they are right, we're in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, etc. So this is these must be burial plots for cremations, I guess, because they're not really big enough for unless the people were all very short, which I don't think is true and is a nonsense thing to say, so I'll probably edit that bit out. And if you'd like to support my little explorations and my soggy feet and buy me a cup of coffee to warm up a little bit, we do have a Ko-fi link, which is at the end of the video and probably at the start of the video as well, where you can chip in and buy me a cup of coffee to help me defrost, because although it's not very cold today, it is have I mentioned it's raining? I might have mentioned it's raining. It's definitely raining. Some really quite nice memorials in this bit, this little strip of the churchyard. A lot of them are the same up the top. I've seen the old stuff up there and all the more modern stuff down there, but this little bit here is just like an island of like there's that, and there's that, and there's the Celtic cross over. Oh, let's go and look at the Celtic cross, just because my feet are already wet, and you can only get wet once, as they say. That's John and Frances Hodgkiss, who died in 1892, who aged 6 months. No, that can't be John. Read it again, Ian. Go back and do it properly. Well, it's Ernest, the son of John and Frances Hodgkiss, who died 1892, aged 6 months. And this is in loving memory of Joseph Urmson, who passed away in 1936, aged 71. But that is, I like that. I like a Celtic cross, as you've probably noticed. I do love the fact that when we do these stops, all these emergency stops, oh, that's nice, isn't it? That is Edith Emma, beloved wife of Thomas Capper. That's again, it's the colours and the patina on this that are amazing. It's just, it looks, it's iconic. That's how you want your graveyard to look like 100 years after you die. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's always, you come to these places and it's not a famous graveyard, it's not a well-known graveyard, you just drive past it and it's there. It's got no sort of, no particular reason to stop. But when you do stop, it's always well worth it, because this has been, I find it quite interesting, and I'm assuming the people that are still watching are also finding it quite interesting, or either that or you've left your YouTube running and gone off to make a cup of coffee and you're not even listening. But that's fine, because I sort of do this like 80% for me and 20% for you guys, so if you enjoy it, then that's fine. That is, it's all worthwhile.